Did you know how to protect yourself during an earthquake disasters, or how to survive an earthquake? Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling a serious but incredibly important topic: how to protect yourself during an earthquake. Earthquakes can happen with little to no warning, and knowing what to do in those crucial seconds and minutes can make all the difference for your safety and the safety of those around you. It's not about fear. It's about being prepared and empowered. So, grab a notepad or just listen closely, because this information could one day save your life. First, let's talk about what to do the moment you feel the ground start to shake. This is the most critical phase. The single most important action you can take is summed up in 3 simple words: drop, cover, and hold on. Let's break that down. Drop to your hands and knees wherever you are. This position prevents you from being knocked over by the shaking and still allows you to move if necessary. Don't try to run outside or to other rooms during the shaking. The greatest danger is from falling or flying objects, not from the building collapsing, especially in modern structures. Trying to run makes you a moving target for debris. Next, cover your head and neck with one arm and hand. Then, find shelter. If a sturdy table or desk is nearby, crawl underneath it. This will protect you from falling objects like light fixtures, ceiling plaster, or items from shelves. If there's no table or desk near you, crawl next to an interior wall, away from windows, and still use your arms to protect your head and neck. Stay away from glass, windows, outside doors and walls, and anything that could fall, such as bookcases or tall furniture. Finally, hold on to your shelter. If you're under a table, hold on to one of its legs with one hand. Be prepared to move with it if the shaking shifts it around. If you're not under shelter, continue to protect your head and neck with both arms, keeping your body as low to the ground as possible. Stay in this position until the shaking stops completely. Don't be fooled by a brief pause. Wait at least a full minute after the shaking ends before you even think about moving. Now, what if you're not in a typical home or office when an earthquake hits? The basic principles of drop, cover, and hold on still apply, but you need to adapt them to your environment. If you're in bed when an earthquake starts, the safest thing to do is stay there. Don't get up. Just roll onto your stomach, grab your pillow and use it to cover your head and neck. Why stay in bed? Because you're less likely to be injured by broken glass on the floor if you try to get up in the dark. Modern beds are also quite sturdy and can provide some protection from falling debris. What if you're in a high-rise building? The advice is the same. Drop, cover, and hold on. Do not use the elevators. I repeat, do not use the elevators. They will likely lose power, and you could become trapped. Also, be aware that the fire alarms and sprinkler systems might go off, even if there isn't a fire. The building is designed to sway, which can feel alarming, but it's actually a safety feature. Stay put until the shaking stops and officials say it's safe to move. If you happen to be outdoors when the ground shakes, your biggest risk is from things falling off buildings. The best thing to do is move to an open area away from buildings, streetlights, and utility wires. Find a clear spot and drop to the ground. Stay there until the shaking stops. This is one of the few situations where moving is the right first step, but do it quickly and find that open space. And what about driving? This can be a terrifying experience. If you're in a moving vehicle, pull over as quickly and safely as possible. Avoid stopping near or under buildings, trees, overpasses, or utility wires. Stay in your car with your seatbelt fastened. The car itself offers a good amount of protection. Set the parking brake. Once the shaking stops, proceed with caution. Avoid bridges, ramps, or overpasses that might have been damaged, and listen to the radio for emergency updates and instructions. Now, let's move on to what you should do immediately after the shaking has stopped. This phase is just as important as the initial response. First, check yourself for injuries. Before you try to help anyone else, make sure you are okay. If you are injured, address it if you can. Once you've checked yourself, check on the people around you. Provide first aid for any serious injuries if you're trained to do so. Don't move seriously injured people unless they are in immediate danger of further injury. Next, you need to assess your immediate surroundings for safety. Look for and extinguish small fires. Fires are a major hazard after earthquakes. If you smell gas or hear a blowing or hissing noise, open a window and get everyone outside quickly. Turn off the gas at the main valve if you can, but only if you know how. If you turn it off, you'll need a professional to turn it back on, so only do it if you are certain there's a leak. Inspect your home for damage. Check the walls, floors, doors, staircases, and windows. If your home looks like it might collapse, get everyone out. Be extremely careful when opening cabinets and closets, as things can fall out. Also, be aware of aftershocks. These are smaller quakes that can happen in the minutes, hours, days, or even weeks after the main earthquake. Each time you feel one, remember to drop, cover, and hold on. If you had to evacuate, take your emergency preparedness kit with you. We've talked about these in other videos, but a quick reminder: it should have water, non-perishable food, a flashlight, a battery-powered radio, a first aid kit, essential medications, and copies of important documents. Having this ready to go can make the post-earthquake period much more manageable. Once you are in a safe place, it's time to get information. Use your battery-powered or hand-crank radio, or your phone if it's working, to listen to news reports for the latest emergency information and instructions from local officials. Don't use your phone to make calls unless it's a life-threatening emergency. The networks will be overloaded. Instead, use text messages or social media to communicate with family and let them know you are safe. Designate an out-of-state contact person that everyone in your family can call or text to check in. It's often easier to reach someone far away than someone local. Let's talk a little more about preparedness, because what you do before an earthquake is just as vital as what you do during and after. Take a look around your home right now. Are heavy objects like pictures and mirrors secured to the walls? Are large, heavy items stored on lower shelves? Are tall pieces of furniture like bookcases and entertainment centers anchored to the wall studs? These simple steps can prevent major injuries. Also, identify the safe spots in each room of your home, like under a sturdy piece of furniture or against an interior wall. Practice your drop, cover, and hold on drills with your family. It might feel a bit silly, but that muscle memory will kick in during a real emergency when you might not have time to think. Know how and when to shut off your utilities like gas, water, and electricity. Finally, let's touch on the mental health aspect. Experiencing an earthquake can be incredibly traumatic. It's normal to feel anxious or stressed. Talk about your feelings with your family and friends. It's okay to not be okay. If these feelings persist, don't hesitate to seek help from a professional counselor or therapist. Supporting each other emotionally is a key part of community recovery. Many areas have disaster distress helplines available, so know those numbers in advance. To recap the most important points: when the shaking starts, drop, cover, and hold on. After the shaking stops, check for injuries and hazards, then get to a safe place. Stay informed using a radio and use texts to communicate, and prepare your home and family before an earthquake ever happens. Preparation is power. By understanding these steps, you're not just protecting yourself, you're becoming a resource for your community. Share this information with your loved ones. The more people who know what to do, the safer we all will be. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this guide helpful. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content on safety and preparedness. Stay safe, stay prepared, and we'll see you in the next video.